Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The OCTA research group says its intention is not to spread fear even as it raised concerns over the upward trend of cases in Cebu. Despite this, health authorities in the region are not alarmed as they assure the public that the healthcare capacity of the province is equipped to handle the surge in patients. Here's the rest of the story.
Despite having over 1,100 COVID-19 cases in a month, Cebu City will remain under modified general community quarantine next month. The OCTA research team has sounded the alarm over this surge, saying the province has a reproduction rate of 1.57 for the previous week, much higher than the whole country's reproduction number of 0.96. Researchers also fear that the UK variant may have reached Cebu as well, but Professor Guido David said this statement was not meant to scare the public.
Yeah, definitely hindi naman tayo nag-fearmonger kasi if our goal is to fearmonger, di sasabihin natin, andyan na everywhere yung UK variant. Nasa Metro Manila, andyan sa, kung saan sulok. Hindi naman natin sinasabing andyan na yung UK variant sa Cebu. Hindi naman tayo nananakot. Sinasabi lang natin, there's a possibility and we should expedite yung pag-sequence ito. Yan lang naman sinasabi natin.
Despite the surge in cases, David said they are not proposing for Cebu to go under lockdown. Instead, the LGU should intensify their health protocols. David also suggests to look into samples of COVID-19 cases in Cebu to determine if the UK variant has reached the province.
It's possible na it's there in Cebu. Again, we're not claiming that it's there in Cebu. We're just saying na we need to look at yung samples and base sa narinig ko, they've already submitted the samples, so magkakaroon na ng results by Monday.
For its part, the Interior Department said that COVID response of LGUs to the more infectious variant may change depending on the IATF's decision.
Again, remember we have a new strain that came into the country, and we're still relying on the contact tracing that we are having, so that we could have a more accurate information, to give to the IATF to decide on whether we must have a stricter protocol or we will be more relaxed.
Interior Undersecretary R.G. Echeverri also explained that Cebu was not placed under a stricter quarantine classification as it is an isolated island.
We also saw the cooperation of different politicians there. Dati hindi nagkakaisa yan noon, nag-aaway-away pa yan. Pero ngayon, eventually, nagkasundo-sundo na rin for the sake of their constituents.
A health official echoes this, saying that Cebu's healthcare system is equipped to deal with the surges.
Yung ating mga temporary treatment monitoring facilities or isolation facilities are in place. Ang ating pong mga hospitals are ready. We have healthcare workers who are ready also.
Still, health authorities in Region 7 have appealed to be allowed to conduct biosurveillance to determine if the UK variant has reached the region. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Law experts say cyberlibel and other penal laws may be used against red taggers, including government agencies and military officials. In an interview with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, Dean Mel Santamaria explained that red tagging is branding somebody as a communist, whether true or not. He said these insinuations must be investigated thoroughly. Santamaria added that red taggers should be held accountable depending on the gravity of allegations.
Dapat talagang itigil yan, no? Kung susundin lang nila yung mga batas natin, yung constitution natin, civilian over the military, panghirap talagang maparatanganan ng isang bagay na hindi ka talaga related. Sino naapektuhan yan? Hindi lang ikaw, mga pamilya mo, mga kaibigan mo, bukod sa yung ibang hindi ka kilala, iba na ang tingin sa'yo. Talagang malawak ang epekto niyan, yung chilling effect ka. Sinasabi, nagpipigil ka na sa mga gagawin mo dahil natatakot ka. Meron na tayo mga batas. Okay, may mga batas na tayo na pwedeng panagutin yung mga nagre-red tag. Una, meron tayo sa revised penal code dati ng intriguing against honor. May crime na ganon.
Meanwhile, former Senator Orly Mercado says there are a lot of factors pushing ordinary people to consider rebellion. He said while military tactical intelligence is critical, students should be allowed to freely explore ideas in school, short of actually rebelling against the government.
Kaya napaka-importante na unawain natin na ang dahilan ng rebellion, ang dahilan ng insurgency ay multifactorial. Ang solusyon dyan hindi militar. Hindi lamang militar. Now, sa military solution, napaka-importante ng intelligence. Yung tinatawag na tactical intelligence. Dapat nalalaman mo kung saan naroon yung kalaban, kung sino mga sumusuporta, etc. Para ikaw ay makaplano ng operasyon.
And we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Philippines is caught in the middle of escalating tensions between the United States and China. The U.S. has backed the Philippines' diplomatic protest against China's new Coast Guard law. Patricia Mangune tells us more.
While a Biden presidency bodes well for the U.S.-Philippine alliance, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana acknowledges the country might get caught up between the two superpowers. Lorenzana recognizes that it will be a challenge to maintain friendly relations with both the U.S. and China. This as trade tensions between the two show no signs of abating. So as to not add fuel to the fire, the defense chief emphasizes that the Philippines will resolve its territorial conflict in the South China Sea in a peaceful manner, while asserting the country's sovereignty.
It is necessary for us to continuously engage with China, not only for our existing cooperation in various areas, but also for the peaceful resolution of our competing claims in the South China Sea. On the other hand, we are mindful of the role of the United States as a stabilizing force in the Indo-Pacific region and a counterbalance to China.
Philippine Ambassador to the U.S., Babe Romualdez, also believes it will be a dilemma for the Philippines to get caught in the crossfire. The U.S. has expressed its concern over China's newly passed Coast Guard law. It authorizes their personnel to fire at foreign vessels entering territories which China claims as their own. The U.S. promised they're standing by the Philippines and other Southeast Asian claimants.
Definitely are not only concerned, but they see that as a not a very good sign coming from China coming out with that law. We don't want to be caught in the middle, but at the same time, we know that that the recognition of our arbitral award is part and parcel of this whole controversy that's surrounding that area. But I'm quite sure that our friends here in Washington, D.C. will be with us if any untoward incident happens to our fishermen and any one of our people.
Just as U.S. President Biden reached out to an adversary like Russia, Biden is also set to speak with allies in Asia soon, which includes the Philippines.
We're not, of course, privy to when this will happen, but President Biden has been calling as many leaders, as we all know, especially those in the neighborhood, so to speak, and the Canadian Prime Minister, the Mexican President, And of course, in Europe, he has spoken to Prime Minister Boris Johnson and many others. And we have been told that in the Asian region, he will be speaking to all the leaders of the Asian region in the coming months, perhaps in a month or two or something like that. But on Monday, I have a meeting with the National Security Council Assistant Director for Asia Pacific, and perhaps I will be asking him on when the plan, what would be the plans of President Biden in having a conversation with our president, which is, in my view, very important, of course.
For News 5, Patricia Mangune. We are One News.
In light of these tensions between U.S. and China, many businesses are seen fleeing from Beijing. Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman George Barcelon says the Philippines could benefit from this exodus out of China, but not by amending the Constitution. Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman George Barcelon says it will be easier for Congress to pass spending laws that will further open the economy to foreign investments. In an interview with Business World Live, Barcelon said there are pending laws in Congress such as the Foreign Investment, Retail Law, and Public Service that will open the Philippine economy to foreign investments. Barcelon urged Congress to pass these measures rather than trying to amend the Constitution.
We need to immediately move into this because we're behind the curve. As of now, investments, because of the US and China tariff issue, many are relocating. And we hope that Philippines would be a country that gets into the radar. Most of them now are shifting to moving to Vietnam. And our foreign direct investment compared to Vietnam, we're only getting 1/5 of what Vietnam is getting. So it would be, with all of this create and the new laws, hopefully, that would be passed through Congress, the foreign investors will take a more serious look in investing in our country.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.